Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Regular Show, Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4. Yeah, we're only doing 2 more episodes today, and it's mainly because of the Loud House reactions. As I mentioned before, as you know, the Loud House reactions, if they were going to be late, well, actually, I think I said either way, that I was going to end up doing 4 episodes. And I did record that before this. And yeah, I did 4 episodes, and just with the time I have left, I only really have time to do 2 episodes this week of Regular Show. Oh well. Hopefully next week we don't get behind, like everything. Oh, but actually next week, yeah, next week is Christmas Eve, next Monday. So there won't be any Regular Show next Monday. I will say that right off the bat. It's not going to be, like, postponed or anything. There's just not going to be any Regular Show next Monday. But the week after that is the 31st, Christmas, or New Year's Eve. I don't know yet if there's going to be anything on New Year's Eve. Honestly, it depends on whether or not I choose to go to this New Year's Eve party that I've been invited to. If I'm going to that, then yeah, I might not be able to get up Regular Show. And that's still a might at that point, because the New Year's Eve party would obviously be at night, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But we've got time to worry about that. For the moment, though, yeah, we're doing 2 more episodes of Regular Show Season 2. So, after the last reaction, there was a bit of debate regarding some things in the comments. Because I kind of had some less than stellar thoughts towards Rigby last time. Which, I mean, is not really anything new. Anyone who's been watching this long enough knows I don't really like Rigby all that much. I mean, I don't, like, hate him in comparison to some characters, but I'm not a fan of his. And I mean, like, some characters on other shows and stuff, as example of characters I don't like in general. But yeah, I'm not a fan of his. I just feel like he's more annoying and troublesome and more in the wrong than he could be in the right. But there were some people who disagreed with me. The Bilateral Gamer was one person mentioning, well, I'll get to that in a minute, and the other one was Bance. And both of them actually kind of mentioned basically the idea of them thinking that Mordecai was the one in the wrong because of the fact that he was continuously basically having an inability to pursue Margaret due to incessant stammering and whatnot. And this is their words, by the way, not mine. And by the way, Bilateral Gamer, Bance, I am not just calling you out here to, like, call you out in any kind of negative, mean, rude, or anything way like that. I'm just trying to say here. I'm just bringing this up because it is a thing going forward with these reactions. I had a bit of a debate for a bit with you, Bance, on this, and we went back and forth regarding our viewpoints on the entire thing, and how you basically viewed Mordecai as being in the wrong because you personally don't like people in real life who are like that, who let their stammering and timidness and whatnot get in the way of actually pursuing someone, and that you think it's basically on his end because of that, how you feel that it hampers him from having a proper relationship and whatnot, and that you think that excuses like that are petty and whatnot. And my viewpoint on it was that, yeah, it does kind of hamper the ability to have a normal relationship in a lot of ways, but it's realistic, and there are a lot of people who go through that. I believe I mentioned that I've been that way. I'm extremely shy and timid in real life. Off of online, I'm actually really, really timid around even people that I know, even my family. Like when I go to family gatherings, whether it be for a holiday or whatever else, most of the time I'm sitting off on my own doing my own thing because I am so timid and nervous around people that I have a extremely hard time starting conversations. And that's with family. When it comes to someone that I actually might have a interest in, a crush on or whatnot, it's even worse. Because the thing is, when you talk to someone that you might have an interest in, when you have a crush on them, you definitely have this inward ideal of yourself that you want to basically create the best impression possible. And the problem for people who, like myself, and I guess like Mordecai as well, who are timid in situations like that, the problem is that we can't formulate the words or the ideas to be able to properly say what we're thinking. We can't express ourselves in a proper way. And does it hamper the ability to form a meaningful relationship? Yes. I've only been on one date in my life. And I won't lie, a lot of it is because of my timidness. But it's not something you can just get over either. And that's where that's one of the big things I really disagreed with you on, Vance. Like, you kind of had this thought, like, oh, he should just, like, basically what you said is he should just, like, stop being a chicken, stop being so timid, and just go for it. Basically, to use the term, he should man up. And that's an extremely toxic idea. One, it invalidates a lot of mental disorders, a lot of just speech impediments someone might have. It invalidates a lot of issues someone could have just to believe that way, for one. The idea of manning up also implies that you have to act a certain way to be considered manly or to be considered strong or whatnot, or basically worthwhile, which is extremely toxic as well. And in the end, it's also just, you can't just get over things like that. And I think you mentioned like how he's not like that around others, and it's like, sure, because he doesn't like them that way. So you can be comfortable around other people and be extremely timid around someone you love, someone you have a crush on. That's extremely believable and realistic. And if you don't like those kinds of people in real life, that's your right. You don't have to like them. I'm not going to tell you that you don't have that right. But try to see it from the perspective of people like that too. They can't just change who they are. They can't just they can't just stop being timid like that. It doesn't work like that. For someone like that who is extremely timid around people that they love or have a crush on in general, yeah, it's going to be hard. And guess what? The only way to work past that, the only way to get better at it, is to struggle through it. The only way Mordecai would ever get better at talking to girls that he has a crush on would be to, stammer through it. The fact is, he is trying. He is actively trying. Yes, it's proving to be a bit of a hampering on his chances, but he's at least trying. It could be worse. But I'm not going to spend, forever talking about this. I did just want to mention this because here's the thing. We didn't come to a consensus on this, me and Vance. We did just kind of agree to disagree, and that's probably not going to change. And like I said, Vance, you're entitled to your viewpoints on this. But so am I. And if we're not going to come to any agreement, then neither of that's going to change. So by me addressing this here, it's like I'm just saying, let's just leave it be. If you continue to disagree with how I view things with Rigby or Mordecai or whatnot going forward, then oh well, that's just how I view it. Because, yeah, I don't like Rigby as much, and I think that so far in this series, he's caused pretty much mostly, if not all of the problems, pretty much single-handedly. Now, again, I've said it before, Mordecai is not completely innocent in all of this. He has definitely done some dumb stuff as well, but he is definitely more of the straight man in the relationship between them. He's definitely the one who's more level-headed. So, yeah, that's just how I view it. So, yeah, again, I did just want to kind of bring this up to basically let it go. One last time to just talk about this, so that we can just move on from here. These are my thoughts. And if you disagree with them, then you disagree with them. You have every right to do so. But I'm not going to sit here and spend my time debating with people about them over and over. Especially with the same kinds of thoughts. So, yeah. That's just how it goes. And I mean, I'll continue to share my thoughts on each episode. And if this kind of thing comes up again, well, then I'll mention again that, yeah, I thought Rigby probably caused it all. If that happens again. If I ever truly believe Mordecai causes a problem or causes the big issue, I will call him out on that too. Like I said, I don't believe Mordecai's infallible. No one's infallible. So yeah. But yeah, with these two episodes we're going to go into today, I know nothing about them. I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know what they're going to focus on. But yeah, I am saying, I did just want to bring that up, and I just want to make it clear that that is where I'm leaving it. I wanted to bring it up, explain myself, explain it all, and move on. And it's, like I said, it's kind of important because this series is probably going to still go in a similar direction that it has been. And there's probably going to be more examples of this kind of same type of outcome happening in regards to Rigby and Mordecai. So it's going to be important for going forward to know how my thoughts are probably going to be in those kinds of situations. So yeah. I mean, I can't say for sure, but I mean, it's likely, right? Either way, I am excited to see this because I am enjoying this show. Like, I want to make that clear, even despite like all I just said on everything and on my thoughts on Rigby starting most of the shit that they go through and everything and causing most of the problems. I do still like the show. Don't get me wrong. It's not perfect by any means, and it's definitely not like what I would consider a favorite show. But I enjoy it. I like the concept of it. I like the formatting of it and everything. I just like the way it's handled. And it's fun. So, yeah. Hopefully, we'll continue to enjoy it going forward. So, for the time, let's just get into it. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so, just as a note, I do have a bit of a headache right now, and I'm not 100% sure why. But yeah, just, that is a thing. So if I'm rubbing my head like this, that's why. So yeah. Those were okay episodes. Nothing I would say were really great or anything, but they were fun enough, I guess. So, one thing to note, going off of what I was talking about in my pre-thoughts, though, both of these episodes, everything that happened, you could say were both Mordecai and Rigby's fault. Like, neither of these were strictly one way or the other. Although, in the second one, it was also kind of Benson's fault. So, with the first episode, Benson's giving out appreciation plaques to his employees. Mordecai and Rigby don't get one, so they decide to change what's in Benson's park. Mind is blanking, because of course it is. They change what's in the park records book. That's it, park records. And so, unfortunately, the park records book is apparently magic, because of course it is. And whatever they write in there, if it's not already true, it becomes true. And, I mean, things at first seem just, like, pretty basic. It's like, oh, they made blueberry pancakes. They washed the dishes. Cool. But then it starts going overboard. A giant blizzard comes out of nowhere. They run over and break Skip's leg. And a giant ice monster appears. And in the end, the only way to stop it is by basically stopping it through writing in the book. And so they do. They bring everything back to normal. And yeah, that's basically it. This episode, again, it wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything spectacular. Didn't do anything really great. But it was enjoyable enough, I guess. The second episode, though, I think was a little better. Especially because Benson was partially at fault. So, Benson is sick of Mordecai and Rigby being slackers. Like, I mean, what's new there? So he sees this commercial for this surveillance system called PEEPS, which is a monitoring system specifically meant to get your employees to work better and more effectively. So at first it seems to work a little bit, but Mordecai and Rigby are such heavy slackers that they manage to get around it. And they keep getting around it to such a level that Benson eventually has no choice but to order the biggest package, which is the, what was it called? Double X Infinity or something like that. And with this package, instead of just all the surveillance cameras and monitors and stuff, you get Peeps himself. And Peeps is this giant sentient eyeball who can teleport and watch everything and everyone pretty much at any time. The problem is it's causing trouble for everyone. It's not just messing with Mordecai and Rigby. Everyone's getting annoyed by it. Skips is having trouble working. Pops has not been able to sleep, etc., etc. And so the only way to stop it is by a staring contest. Mordecai and Rigby challenge it to a staring contest. If they win, Peeps goes away. Otherwise, they lose their eyeballs. Because Benson signed a infinity guarantee, basically. Basically, the contract goes until their deaths. Or at least the death of whoever signed it, I assume. So, I love the joke in there about how it's like, oh yeah, you can't trust us with cleaning the truck or doing the dishes or whatnot, but if there's something you can trust us with, it's getting really good at learning pointless shit while slacking off on doing our actual jobs. And Benson's like, I actually can't argue with that. And it is just so well executed as a joke. And so Mordecai specifically takes up the challenge, and at first it seems to be going well enough, but then Peeps cheats, and just straight up, I'm sorry, but Peeps cheated, bringing in the extra eye stalks to water its main eye. And there were multiple times before the staring contest was technically over where I swear Peeps blinked. Such as there was the one point where they had all the eye stalks covering the main eye. He was probably blinking during that part. And when all the stalks went away, you could see the eye opened, the main eye opened. So I think Peeps was cheating a lot. So when Rigby eventually started, so when Rigby was using the laser pointer, at that point it was fair game. And Mordecai ended up defeating him, and I like that the ending gag too. It's like, I can't actually blink anymore. And it's like, gives eye drops, still can't blink, take me to the hospital. It's like that. It was just, again, so well executed. But yeah, it's just like, once again, I keep saying it, but they keep executing the regular show format. Which, once again, is it starts very simple and very basic, but goes completely wacky and out of hand. And I like that that is the format of the show. I like that that is continuing to be the format of the show. Because it works. And like has been said, it never feels old. It never feels like it gets, like it's gotten old or gotten too out of hand or that they need to change it up. It always feels fresh and new and good because of the way they execute it. Now, again, not every episode is great. Not every episode is going to knock it out of the park. But in terms of its format, it just always works, from my perspective at least. Either way, I did really enjoy these episodes. They weren't, again, the best, but I did enjoy them. And once again, going with what I was talking about, my pre-thoughts as well. With everything I said about Rigby and all, and the little bit of the comment debate I got into, once again, I wasn't just saying that to call you out and to like mess with you or anything. I wanted to bring that up once again to just say that this is how my opinion on this character and how things have gone with certain episodes is. And we may never agree, but there's no point in continuously debating about it. If we're both going to stick to our guns and stick to our beliefs on this, then we should just let that be at this point. As long as we can still agree to enjoy the show either way. So yeah, I do want to leave that debate here. I want to just end that off where it is. But either way, tell me what you thought of these two episodes in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles, shed tears along the way, you're still standing, live, love, laugh.